Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Welcome to Scooter Rehab Lab. This is the official part 2 video of the customization of my 2013 Yamaha Zuma scooter. This is the official first but second video of the channel. I say first and second because it's the first video that was recorded for the channel, but it also is the second video posted to the channel. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. I got the Yamaha back up on the stand. You guys quick walk around again. I don't think you forgot what it looked like, but we got the wheels, the bling, the exhaust, everything all mounted. Now, last video I just hung the plastics on so we could see what it looked like. But I got a couple goodies in the old trunk up here. I'm gonna pull on out and we're gonna go ahead and start installing. Take this thing a little closer to running. Alright, all the plastic is removed. Now here's some things that I dug up out my goodie box. I have a stock Chinese CDI, and I have an aftermarket, probably Chinese made too, CDI. They usually crank better with the stock CDI. They're usually a little harder to crank with aftermarket CDIs. I'm not too familiar with this purple one. I found it on another scooter that I was rebuilding, and I never tested it out, but I do have a couple more CDIs. This one is just like this one I pulled off, but it's got a bad pin inside of it, so we're not going to use it. We're going to see if this one works. We know these things here are junk. They make your engine extremely hard to start, but like I said, we're not going to get into that. We're just going to use the stock one to begin with, get the motor crunk. And I got some the roller weights. I think you guys seen it in part 1. Different sizes. We have 10 gram, 12 gram. I think I have 13 gram in here. Alright guys, I'm going to change the shock out. This is a Mad Dog shock, a stock shock from a Mad Dog scooter. If you don't want to know what a Mad Dog scooter is, I'm going to show you one here in a minute, because we're going to have to rob a couple parts off of it to get this sucker going. Now you see it's lined up, and this one's about a little inch longer. And the reason for changing the shock, guys, is the engine doesn't sit the way I want it to. You know, I need a little bit of a longer shock, which is going to raise the whole bike. I'm really not tripping off of that either. It's not a low rider, but if I can push the back of the shock down, that'll level out the bottom of the motor where it's not sitting at a downhill angle. Alrighty, now for the other side, guys. I told you guys needed a magneto in the last video. So here I got the magneto, brand new from Budget Scooter Parts here in Las Vegas. And I got the Stator, same place, Budget Scooters here in Las Vegas. Now this one is just a, I think an 8-pole. Let's look at it. For those of you that don't know what a stator is basically the alternator for the bike. So let's see. It's 8-pole. So, you know, inside I said we had the 11 or 12, can't remember. So I'm going to go ahead and put these parts on, and then we'll work with the fuel system. And then we'll work on hooking up the carburetor. It's my first time working with an OKO carburetor, so there's going to be some tuning, I'm assuming, but hopefully not. Alright guys, let me go ahead and get these belts on. and a couple of these parts, and I'll bring you guys right back in. I want to show you all this real quick. This is inside of my knockoff Koso variator. Now, I wasn't aware it was a knockoff when I bought it, but if anybody knows about the real Kosos, you can tell this is not correct. Which I'm going to assume the Koso variator weights are knockoff too. These are 14 gram. That was already in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave these in here, and we're going to work with it from there. I'll go ahead and throw this belt on, and I'll bring you guys back in. The belt is installed. This is the first time I have ever put in a belt on this motor since it's been rebuilt. First time that I've ever torqued that bolt there. You can see I just knocked the paint off of it. Alright guys, we're going to move around to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and pull this cover and install a stator. Now if anybody has a scooter and never put a belt on before, it's pretty simple. You're going to need an impact of some sort strong enough to take off this 17 millimeter bolt here. And usually if your belt snaps on your scooter, you're going to have to take the back part of the variator off too, because that back plate it shoots back and the weights just get sideways in there. So you have to kind of put them back in line, the same way you saw them laying in there when I had it off. Alright, when you get your belt on, you're going to have to squeeze your variator, your clutch back here. Got to squeeze the belt clutch to get the bolt to sit down low so you can stretch it out far enough to get it over here. Now the belt on this 150cc, well, the 168cc now, but the 150s come with a 842 size belt. Alright, I'm going ahead and remove the other side, and we'll put the stator on. Okay guys, I got the engine cover off, and immediately I noticed two problems. One is I'm missing the Woodruff key. Woodruff, I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean though. Yeah, and I don't know where it's at. And another thing I'm missing is the cooling fan that goes on top of the magneto. Okay. That is a major issue. So I did what anybody would do in this situation. I went to the old OfferUp and I went and bought a whole new engine. Well, not a new engine, a very, very used engine. A really great core though. But as you can see, I have a cooling fan. And since the piston or the connecting rod moves, I'm sure there's a Woodruff key in there that I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that. Hope that's the last of the things that, issues that pop up on this. But okay, let me get right at it. All right, I just pulled the flywheel off, the magneto right there off, and I just noticed this scooter engine that I just went and picked up not even 20 minutes ago. It has a 12-pole stator too, identical to the one the brand new one I have on the scoop that we're building on the Yamaha. It's crazy. Hope it does have the Woodruff key. Get out the sunlight. I don't know if you can see that or not. It does have the Woodruff key, so we're going to go ahead and stick this on. I was going to switch out to the 8-pole stator, but I have to look in some things up. I think I have a regulator that will work fine with it. Like I said, I don't know if there's a difference in it or not. I just don't want to fry the whole wiring harness that we just put on. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Woodruff on. We're gonna stick this thing on, and since this engine has been sitting, I built this about 2 years ago, and I'm gonna go ahead and treat this thing like a will it run. I'm gonna throw a little lubrication down there on the top end of the cylinder. Go ahead and fill this thing up with oil, and I think the next step I'm going to go ahead and do is figure out this fuel system. I got a fuel pump. on another scooter, which I'm gonna bring it out and show you guys. I bought it the other day from a co-worker, and shoot, man, I thought it was gonna be a nice video for you guys, but I threw a hot battery on it, turned the key, and the thing fired right up. So I guess you guys get to see me customize that one too. All right, let me go ahead and get all my fluids and this flywheel magneto on, and I'll be right back with you guys in a sec. Okay, got the flywheel, aka the magneto, and the cooling fan on now. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the cover back on. And next I'm going to move on to the starter solenoid. We got a starter solenoid here that I assume to be good. Not sure, but no big worries. I got a couple of them around. Two more that I know will work for sure, but we're going to test these out. I pulled them for a reason. Usually I pull them and throw them away if they're bad, but I pulled these and saved them, so it's a good chance that they're good. All right, basically all I have to do with this one is tap and bolt the starting wire from the starter there, and the other one goes up to the battery. This end goes to the positive side on the battery. And that's it. Then we're going to move on to the fuel system once we get this thing cranking over. Oh, now I went ahead and sprayed some PB blaster down in the cylinder, since, like I said, this thing has been sitting 2 years and since I built it, and it's pretty dry. So I just want to make sure we don't scar up the inside of that piston. All right, now for fuel system, I'm going to steal the fuel pump off this thing right here. It's a Mad Dog. I forgot what year it is, 2015, 16. It's the 4th generation Mad Dog. Mad Dog scooters are basically just a knockoff Honda Ruckus. You know, you guys probably noticing the pattern. I got a lot of knockoff stuff right here. Truthfully, I don't discriminate. I just like to build stuff and have fun. Yeah, we're gonna go steal this fuel pump. Okay, let's start this thing up, man, before we rob the fuel pump off and let you guys see what it sounds like with that new exhaust. Now, it's the first start of the day, so yeah, she's idle up a little high, but this bike sounds pretty good, man. That's why I'm not going to mess with it. It was no point doing a will it run, because yep, it runs, so can't kill that dream. It sounds pretty good. Alrighty, go ahead and get this bike over here, get the starter solenoid installed, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, gang, I got the starter solenoid all wired in. Black wires running to the starter, red wires running to the battery. Now I went ahead and I had to. There's no choice in the matter. Added a ground wire from the battery that runs to the frame. You can guys see it, yeah. From the battery runs to the frame, and this black wire here runs over to the engine. Grounds my engine and my frame and everything. Now before I hit the start button and see if this thing rotates, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put some fluid in it. I just went ahead and picked up this Valvoline ATV, UTV 4-stroke oil. This is for motorcycles, scooters, and whatnot. I have no idea how good this stuff is. And I went and grabbed me some Lucas 8090 weight. Now this goes in the gear drive here. So I'm about to just pull this bolt off and fill this sucker up. Yeah, but we'll worry about that in a second. Right now I just need to get the oil in it because I don't want to rotate it dry. So let me go find a funnel and we'll get that in there. All right, I got the oil in it, and noticing the problem. I don't know if I even mentioned this before, but I'm going to have to bend this exhaust out some. Probably bend the mount for the muffler over some, because you can see, yeah, it's quite close. I had to take the muffler off just now, well, just the springs to get the cap back on. Kind of just moved out the way a little bit when I took it off, but worry about that later. So I got that back on, and I went ahead and grabbed the stock CDI that we had over there and plugged it in. And need to shoot. I want to go ahead and shoot a little bit more of the PB blaster. There's a different can. I got two cans, y'all. Down in the cylinder before we crank this sucker over, man. I don't want to dry start this, you know. I got a decent amount of money in this thing, so I don't know. Ooh, there we go. We're hitting the hole. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but just fill this sucker up as much as I can. All right, let's go ahead and switch my jump pack over to 40 amps. Gonna make her start 2000 right there. Okay, switch is on. It's on run, and let's see. Hopefully I don't get showered in oil. Oh yeah. Now I got my spark plug here because I forgot to mention, I went ahead and hooked up the coil too. Let's see if we even getting spark out of this sucker. Alright, let me mess around with this because I gotta ground this spark plug some kind of way. Let me fool with that and I get right back with you. Alright guys, let's see if we got spark. Oh wow. And we do not have spark. Okay. Alright, so let me hook up something else real quick, and that'll let me know if the stator is actually working. Alright. Okay, I hooked up one of these cheap Chinese CDIs. But best thing about these things, it's all dirty, there's a green light right there. If your stator is bad, that light will not light up, flash, or do anything. So let's check it there. Nope. Okay. Well, the new 12-pole stator I put on is not working, so let's go ahead and just pull that sucker back off. Not gonna waste any more time in that. We're going to go ahead and put on the brand new stator that I bought. That should be good. That thing was always suspect anyway, because I bought it used from somebody who swore it worked, and I believed them because I bought parts from them before and they worked. Now the only problem that I'm gonna have with putting this stator on here is this is a 50cc wiring harness. Like I said before, I was kind of amazed that this thing plugged right in, being that this is a stator that came off of 150. Usually the 150 plugs look like this. They're smaller. Now you can see on this 150 case that I got right here that has the same 12-pole stator on it, it looks like the other one. Exactly like the other one. So I mean, I don't doubt that the 12-pole that's in here came off of 150, but I'm starting to think I had got a long time ago, because like I say, I put this engine together 2 years ago and never cranked it. But it's okay. Water on the bridge. Let's go ahead and just pull that sucker back off. We're gonna swap it out. Gonna have to snip these ends. Put this in here. Well, put the end from this one onto this one, and we'll plug it in and make it work. All right. Okay, gang. I went ahead and pulled a 12-pole stator and got the brand new 8-pole in there. It's all hooked up. So we're just going to turn the bike on now. See if we got spark. Everything's on. All right. See if we got spark now. Alright, you guys see it. We got spark now. I want to show you guys real quick also what I was saying about these. Let me zoom out here a little bit. What I was talking about these cheap Chinese CDIs. Now, put it where you guys can see it. Now, there's a light right here. Now, if your stator's bad, you have one of these, it's good to test the stator with. I mean, I'm not going to run it. I'm going to put the stock one back on, but Actually, can't even see this thing lighting up, huh? Oh well. It's so faint. But yeah, that light lights up. It could be bad on this one. This thing has been abused. It's been drug on the ground, but we got sparks, so we're just gonna move on. Gonna go ahead and put on the stock CDI. Now, I want to go ahead and run the fuel lines and pump, but first, I'm gonna run the throttle cable over to the new carburetor. So we'll go ahead and do that first, and then we'll do the fuel line. Okay, guys, I got the throttle cable hooked up. I've already routed it and got it coming out right here. I've already taken the top part of the top slide carb, the OKO 28mm off, and basically you just run the wire down through this top cap, down through the spring. There's a little white cap right inside here that holds the end of the throttle cable in position. Needle, everything comes out with it. Like I say, this is my first time dealing with an OKO. Usually I just rebuild the old CVK that comes out of the scooter and, you know, upjet it. Now I went ahead and taking the bottom off of the carb to look at the jets. Just curious to see what else in there. Now the pilot jet is a 48, K48. And the main jet is a 132. I mean, it's kind of big, but hey, I was going to put them back in to see how it runs with it. Now, if I need to downsize the pilot jet, I got that, no problem. The ones from the CVK card, they are the same. Put this in the shade. Now, I have 2 packs of brand new pilot and main jets when I build the CVKs. But like I say, the pilot jet is the only one that's going to match. So this one is totally different. So if I need to change the main jet, I'm going to have to order some. But let's just put it in and hope for the best. We just gonna have to monitor the spark plug and see how it if we get that chocolate color we're looking at. If it stays white, then you know we're gonna have to, it's running too lean. If it gets black, then you know it's just running too rich. So hopefully we get that good in the middle of the road color on the spark plug. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together. We're going to go ahead and put it on, and then I'm going to jump on running the fuel system. Okay guys, I've got the fuel system all ran, all the fuel lines. You see I got the fuel pump bolted in here. I just screwed a little bracket, temporary bracket in here on the side just to hold it. I'm going to burn something in a little more permanent. I'm still going to put the mounts for the starter solenoid and the coil. And I'm going to do a mounting bracket for the CDI that I just got zip tied up right here. But I went ahead and primed the system, and I gotta admit guys, it started. I wanted to do it on camera, but it was so quick. I mean, I just saw the fuel run up, hit the filter, went into the fuel pump in there, and I went, as soon as I went to go let off the start button, it just but that was it. Okay, gotta be honest. All right guys, so I have to go back to the instructions with this carburetor and figure out what that vacuum port there is. I think it's a vacuum port, and I know that's a vacuum port here on this side. This side here I got running to the fuel pump. But let's just see, will it crank up and what it sounds like. This sucker is loud. Got a little bit of smoke coming out of the exhaust pipe. That's from that PV blaster. You can see a little smoke now. Burning off that PV blast I put in the cylinders. Give it a little rev. Alright guys, we got a runner. Now I still have to put the little lid on the gas tank. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the fuel sending unit out of another scooter that I have. I got some metal, and I'm just gonna cut a piece out of an old tank that I have, big enough to fit in here. That way I can run the fuel sending wires, which are not those. Where are they? These. I can run these wires. I'll just extend them and run them back. You know what? No, that doesn't even make sense, because I don't even have a fuel gauge. Okay, I know what I do. I'll go get one of those fuel caps that shows the fuel level, like on an old generator or something, and I'll put that in there. That's what I'll do. That way I can just look down and see how much fuel I have. But yeah, guys, she's a runner, man. But right now I gotta hurry up and put everything up, run, go get the kids from school real quick, and I'll be back, and we're gonna tune on this bad boy a little bit, you know. She's idle up a little bit high, but she is a runner. I gotta address these signal lights in a minute. I kind of broke them as we was doing this video. This one was already broken. I had to fix a long time ago. Now it's broken again. I'm just gonna silicone them in for now, you know. We'll worry about that a little bit later. But oh, okay, this might be why she was idle up. Okay, my throttle cable was kind of pulled out. I gotta make an adjustment on that. I'll make it a little tighter up top. But yeah, guys, I've been waiting to hear this engine run for 2 years. And she's running now. So, alright, let me get cleaned up, go get these kids, man. We're gonna come back. We're just gonna zip tie the wires up for now, because I don't feel like breaking the welder out and cutting metal and doing all that today, man. This is my weekend, you know. I'm probably gonna spend tomorrow just relaxing. And we'll button this thing up and get to that paint part and finish this baby off. But right now, gotta go get the kids. Okay, guys, it is the next morning. I know I said today I was going to take a break on the bike and get some rest today. I got to go to work early in the morning, and I couldn't do it. I just can't leave it right here. You know, it's so close to being mechanically done. So I had to come back out this morning. And first thing that was on my mind was the signal lights and the brake lights and everything. As you know, like I say, everything plugged right in. But when I did notice, and I didn't mention it on video, that it was kind of funky, you know. So I came out and checked the flasher, and you can see the colors on the wires. They match now. Well, they didn't yesterday. This is how they were. This is how this flasher is wired. This is the one that was on the bike. I found this one in my stash, and you can see I've had it for a while. It's all dirty, but it matches. Okay. Let me turn it on. Let you guys see what I got going on here. All right, we turn the bike on, and let's hit the left flasher. All right, the left flasher is on, but it's not flashing. The tail light is flashing. Okay. Now let's do the right turn flasher. It's flashing, and the tail light is still flashing. Okay. So let's go up here to the front of the bike. Now, I have both of the left and right flashing. Alright, so turn the flasher off. Press the center button. And watch what happens when I hit the brakes. When I hit the brakes, now this light stays on like it's a tail light, like it should be right off the tail. But when I hit the brakes, the flash is flashed. Now this one goes all the way out. This one stays semi on like it's a tail light, but they flash. So I don't know, guys, but at least I think the issue is I just have to repin the tail light harness, which I have tucked back up in here. Here it is. I think that's all I gotta do. Same number amount of wires on the back side. I think I just have to unpin it and repin it. But if that's the least of our problems on that, we'll be fine. All right. I'm actually have to go wait for Harbor Freight to open up and get me the little pin tools to unpin the harness, and then we'll get right at it. All right, gang. Well, I got the signal lights and lights all figured out. Go ahead and turn this bad boy on so you guys can see. Yeah, check it out. I got the tail lights working, that left signal working. Remember, guys, I'm getting new signal lights, so stop laughing. I got the brake lights working. Let's see if you guys can see it. Brake lights working. Yeah, front signal on the right hand or left hand side. Do the right signal. Right signal working. And rear right signal working. Alright. Go ahead and crank this bad boy up. I'm going to need 2 hands, so hold on for a second. Alright guys, I got the headlights wired up. Now, these Yamahas have one light on for driving and I think both come on for high beam. Not sure. I don't remember. But I'm going to wire this thing up where both lights are on at the same time. This didn't cross my mind when I was hooking it up. She's cold. But yeah, that's high beam on that side. And I'm taking the other side is low, just low beam all the time. I don't know. They're both bright as hell when I rev. The voltage regulator is hooked up, so guys will look at the CVT side. I'm gonna get an ankle biter and put on there. For those of you who don't know what an ankle biter is, it's just basically a CVT case where you can see all of this all of the time. Alright guys, well, the fabrication on this build is like 90% done. Next video, we're gonna go ahead and blow this thing back apart, take all the panels off. I still have to do the welding on the little mounts to hold the starter solenoid and the coil and one for the fuel pump. But you know, I'll do all that off camera. You know, it's pretty boring anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here, guys. When we come back, we're going to be doing all the paint. We're going to give it its custom paint job, and she's ready for the road. I'm ready to ride her because it's already registered. So, all right, guys, see you on the next video.